What's up, guys? TJ with TJ O'Connor Fitness, talking to you today about heavy or light weights. So the one thing about lifting heavy is it's going to tax your neuromuscular system more than just your muscular system. So it's going to hit your CNS, central nervous system, which is great for developing strength and power and some muscle, depending on how much volume you create. Lifting lighter weights, you're most likely going to be hitting more muscle specifically, and a lot of times guys use that to isolate the muscle. So like bicep curls or lateral raises or something like that. When you use lighter weights, it's easier to maintain good form and technique. Now, light or heavy is relative to the person, okay? If I was to push, 30 pounds above my head for reps, nobody would care. It would look pathetic. If, a 3-year-old did it, people would be freaking out. Holy shit, this little kid is lifting 30 pounds above their head. Weight is relative. So it's important to understand that even if you're going to do something as simple as bicep curls, somebody might be able to bicep curl 30 pounds, and another person might be able to do 100 pounds, and the form looks exactly the same. So I'm going to tell you a little bit how I like to implement weights and reps. And it's worked for me over the years, and I seem to see it with my clients to be very effective. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you this. With myself and with all my clients, I help them figure out how to do the movement properly, feel the right muscles first, and then we start worrying about specific weights and trying to overload and so on. Sometimes overloading doesn't happen as fast as you'd like it to happen because you got to learn how to activate the muscle first and what proper form and technique looks like. So it always depends on how fast somebody picks that up before we can just start doing overload sets of like 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 30, whatever it is. And those, if you're getting into 30 reps, that would seem like it's going to be light. Whereas if you're doing sets of 4, it's probably going to be really heavy, right? Well, the one thing I like to get to at some point within probably the first couple of months is picking one main movement for that day that's going to be more of our strength focus. So we would do somewhere between 4 and 7 reps most of the time. And the reason I usually choose that, let's say that it's a squat, is I'm trying to get a response from the body, like a neuromuscular response and a strength response, so that the whole body can activate a lot more muscle at one time and get some type of a stimulus to get stronger at that moment in time. So we're trying to focus on strength and more output. We're trying to get more neuromuscular output, okay? That way you're activating more muscle at one moment in time. That is not going to build a whole lot of muscle. It will. It'll get you denser, more contractile muscle fibers, but it also improve your connective tissue tensile strength, so how much it can actually handle under load. So there's some really good benefits to that. But most people can't feel the individual muscles when they do that type of movement. What'll happen is they're like, I really can't feel anything, I'm just pushing with all I got. Or it's just really, really hard. And that's all right. That's okay. Because at that moment in time, you're trying to activate so much muscle, your nervous system is firing so hard. To individualize any specific muscle is going to be really difficult. Now, on the contrary, if I took that same squat and I said, let's knock out 30 reps, it's going to be a lot less weight, but your quads will probably really light up, especially if you're a more vertical squatter. But you're probably not going to get the same type of response with sets of 4. 5, 6, or even 7. So I like to do that. And then what I do is I transition into more of, I would say, like what more people would consider more of a high rep scheme after that. And it's only like a moderate high rep scheme, somewhere between 10 and 15 reps. And during that phase, I'm really trying to get my clients or myself to feel every muscle fiber I could feel throughout the entire range of motion. So we're on legs, saying we're doing squats. So let's say we go to the next movement, and then we incorporate maybe leg press or even hack squats. So either one of those movements. During that part, I'm gonna go ahead and keep constant tension, trying to keep the weight moving up and down for the entire set of 15. That means you're probably not gonna lift as much weight. If I could stop every time, like every 5 reps, and then go up and down for 3 and then do it, you're gonna relieve a lot of tension, because you're just holding the weight up, opposed to keeping the muscle eccentrically loaded and then concentrically, or going up and down, up and down, up and down. When you keep that load on the muscle, you really pump a lot of blood into the muscle. You cause all this cell expansion, and the muscle needs a lot more oxygen to be pumped to it. And it's an incredible feeling. But it's just another way to create more hypertrophy in the muscle cell. But I like doing that because then the client or myself or whoever's working with me, they're gonna feel every ounce of that movement, and they're gonna really get a lot out of it, and they're gonna understand exactly what that's supposed to feel like, and get a lot more mind-muscle connection. And over time, they can activate that muscle whenever they want to. So that's a really good way of maybe attacking the back. The back is really, really difficult for a lot of people to get right away. So if we start getting some of that connection, we're doing a little bit more reps, a little bit more sets, all of a sudden you start feeling the muscle. Then it's easier to activate that when you're doing some of the heavier stuff. So I like to do that. And then I even take it a step further with some clients that are more advanced, or myself, and I'll do 10-second rest periods at 15 reps or so, or even sometimes 20. So let's say that we were on the leg press, do something like we're doing 15 reps. We're trying to get up to a total of 30 or so at the end. We have a certain amount of weight on the leg press. We do as many reps as we can. Let's say we fail at 15. You're only gonna rest 10 seconds. Do as many reps as you can. Rest 10 seconds, as many reps as you can, to however long it takes you to get to 30 reps. And what that does with almost zero rest, with 10 seconds rest, you're giving yourself barely enough time to get a few breaths in, and then you get right back to it. The muscle's super hyper fatigued. Your body's pushing as much blood into the muscle as you possibly can, and it's an incredible, incredible feeling. So I like to do that. So those are just 3 different ways to utilize rep schemes, intensity, and weight. So all of those things, you're gonna probably have different weights for. You're gonna have different different types of mind-muscle connection for. But all of them are important for development. So how would I suggest you use this? You could do it the way I do it, where I incorporate 2 to 3 of them in every single workout. Or if you're hyper advanced, which some people, I don't know if anybody that is going to be listening to this channel that are hyper advanced, but if you're hyper advanced and you're looking to get a maximum squat, a maximum deadlift, you do not want to be doing all 3 of these in one workout. Your body's too advanced. You need to focus specifically on one style of training during that workout to give your body a chance to respond to it. And that is important. If you're a beginner, the good idea for you is to just try all these things and see what is the best for you. What are you getting the best response from? And then incorporate different ones as you go. And when your body starts changing, maybe log that stuff down, and you'll be able to kind of look at yourself and go, okay, maybe these are the things I got to stick with. And then on the other hand, when you get to an advanced level, you could throw these 3 things in and really train the muscle down to the deepest fibers and be able to respond every single workout with a little bit of improvement. Now, think about this, guys. The first year of training, you're going to get great response no matter what you really do. I suggest your first year of training, you really learn about your body. You start feeling muscles. You start getting connected to how everything's feeling. You start worrying about, you get your posture correct. You worry about your shoulder position. You get form and technique down to a T. And then after that, you start working on all these different intensity ways of training, reps and sets and so on. But as a professional, I would say make sure for the first year, just try and stick with something for about 8 to 12 weeks. Then change it up, every about 10 to 12 weeks after that. After that first year, you can give anything a shot and do whatever's working for your body. Try and stick with it for as long as you possibly can. Anyway, I hope this worked for you guys. The reps, sets, weight schemes, intensities, and so on. If you have any questions, write in the comments down below. Subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching. Talk to you guys soon.